Darn it, they just can't keep the rides running at Walt Disney World. Something has changed, something has shifted the quality, and folks, we think we know what it is. We're going to share with you what's happened behind the scenes that has caused Disney to no longer be able to do what they once did. Now the rides, the attractions, they're all defunct, even to the point that Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the brand new ride replacing Splash Mountain, it's broken out of the gate, and the animatronics are lockjawed in place. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, the place where we endeavor to explain entertainment, keep you ahead of the culture curve. We think that's a fun time, and we believe you're along for the ride. Happy to have you, by the way. Hope you're having a joyous day. Today we're talking about the fact that Tiana's Bayou Adventure was delivered to Parks Operations, the guys who keep these things going over at Magic Kingdom, and it's already broken. It's like a toy that's missing its arms and legs right out of the box. It's unfair. People will blame maintenance, but it's not maintenance's problem. This is the issue of Imagineering, and a new generation of Imagineers who can't do anything right, apparently. There's so much stuff that's broken, so many rides that have to be replaced, and by the way, so many new things that nobody wants or likes that have to be dismantled very rapidly at huge cost. It's a catastrophe for the reputation of Disney. We're talking about it. Great panel with great insights right now. Let's ponder for a moment the success rate of Disney parks in the last few years. I'm gonna throw some stuff out at you, okay? Jonas, what was the name of the fireworks show that went away after about a year because it was so bad they had to go back to the one before it?
Are we talking about was it?
Yeah, it's funny how we have to figure out which of the fireworks shows we're talking about.
Well, did Harmonious was the one that went away? Oh, Epcot Forever was the one that came back.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But
so Harmonious
that's not the only one. Magic Kingdom also had the same thing. We had to go back. Remember?
This happens so often. I don't track the nighttime spectaculars.
Harmonious, though. Harmonious, they actually had to come in and destroy the Ring of Death and the
Stargate,
the Tacos of Doom. Yes, off the lake. So all that had to be deconstructed, and then they had to build new infrastructure. So that cost a little bit of money. Galactic Star Cruiser,
Pro. What about the kites at Animal Kingdom?
Oh yeah. Well, those smashed in the bleachers a few times too many.
No, that was part of the show. They put that in the show. That was part of the actual. This is how you'll do your exit. We'll crash the kite right next to where the audience is, and hope that they're not paying attention to the fact that you crash the kite while we do the rest of the show in front of you. Like that's not how audiences work.
By the way, that's not the only show that's been canceled in that one spot. Rivers of Light, the nighttime spectacular at Animal Kingdom that lasted all but a year. They had to just throw away all those boats, everything, because it was so poorly received. Now over at Fantasmic and Disneyland, they don't have a dragon anymore because it burned to the ground, and they're not willing to buy a new dragon. The track record here is horrendous over the last 5 years or 10 years for making new stuff at Disney parks. The number of failures exceeds the number of mediocres, and the number of wins, that's few and far between. Cosmic Rewind is about it. Is there anything else? The little blinky lights they put on Spaceship Earth might count.
I'm also hearing that tonight's performance of Fantasmic at Disneyland has been canceled. So just throwing that on the current events pile.
Wow.
All right. Well, before we go to Super Chats, folks, we want to segue very smoothly to the Pixie Dust situation. We don't want to lose the moment. They are not handling this well, okay? That's just because they are sort of they championed this happening, right? So they're actually active participants in this. So I want to show you now, if it's okay, how this is being handled by the Pixie Dusters. So this is TPM Vids, and TPM Vids, they earn their bread by posting videos on YouTube of broken animatronics, and they do a great job. They have smooth transitions, and people send in videos. So nothing against them. They also, though, despite doing that, they want to be on the media list. There's no doubt about it, as do others. So this came out before people were appalled at the ride. TPM Vid said, Tiana's Bayou Adventure looks phenomenal. Every single scene has so much depth and life, and that finale is so grand. Oh, and there are more than 17 animatronics. Go figure. Now, TPM, we love you, But since you're the one doing this, we are going to push back here because people like Braden, people like Vash, people like myself, we're the ones who are reporting on that 13 to 17 animatronics. So this is kind of taking a snipe. So we're going to snipe right back just for a moment, but we still like you, TPM. We still do. Folks, here's how they're getting above that 17 animatronics number. At the beginning of the ride, there are 2 stalks of okra. They don't have faces. They're not anthropomorphized okra. They're just 2 stalks of okra. Just random okra, and they sway to the left and the right like a pendulum, right? That's it. Each one of those stalks of okra is being counted as an animatronic in order to get up to a higher number.
Yeah, and by the way, putting aside the fact that a salt mine is usually a place of indentured servitude, to put it mildly, all of the great conquerors in history, when they wanted to really wipe out the people they were battling, they sowed their agricultural land with salt because nothing would grow in it. So there's that.
There is indeed that.
Oh, this tweet right here kills me.
Yeah.
This is perfect because if they move Tiana literally, I don't know, 5 feet to the left of where she is, there would be nothing that you could see there for the entirety of the ride. So they make one long stretch where you're looking straight ahead. There's blackness to the right, there's blackness to the left, and in front of you, because she's super highly lit, you can see Tiana in the distance, completely silent.
Doing nothing until you get right up on top of her. Then she starts to talk and you're gone before she's finished saying whatever it is she's saying.
Well, you know what she says? You know what she says? Well, we ought to get these people for the band.
Yeah, right.
Here's what should happen.
Jonas, I thought you were singing Stuck in the Middle with You.
So in this ride, the
okra to the left of me.
The characters are doing absolutely nothing of interest ever, except talking directly to you about what is about to happen immediately. So what Tiana essentially does is you get on the ride, and the first time you see her, she's like, "Hey, y'all, you're on water." And then the next time you see her, she's like, "Hey, y'all, you're about to turn to the right. We got fun music or something." And it just keeps going and going like that.
And by the way, the Disney official term that they use derisively for the idea that anybody should ever again do an attraction that tells the same story as the movie is, oh, that's one of those book report attractions. Well, if this isn't a book report, I mean, it's not as smart as that. It's a Cliff's Notes. It's a Tiana for Dummies. But talk about being on the nose and telling the story as opposed to being impressive and interpretive of it. The next chapter of her inspiring story. Do you see that? The next chapter is, we just had this wonderful movie with all these characters and the whole story. Now we're all going to sit around and turn people into frogs so they can make music for us, or else.
Well, we actually know why this ride is so darn boring. And this is putting all of the pixie dusters in a real hard spot because they can't really go after the person who did this to them. And really, they've been done dirty because they all praised to the high heavens that Splash had to go. Splash was trash. Get it out of here. Bring this in. Look what Vash Sky has to say. He's pulled this up for us. I love it. People are mad because there's no story. Here's why there's no story. Dr. Facilier, who's the original baddie in Princess and the Frog, was never considered by Walt Disney Imagineering for use in the attraction due to his association with Voodoo and Carmen Smith, who is the head of DEI and who is the head of this attraction at Walt Disney Imagineering. Her insistence that any depictions of it would be culturally insensitive. This is why Mama Odie was changed from a voodoo queen to a Bayou fairy godmother.
Exactly the same thing.
Yes, but you
can't get out of their own way. They really
the actress doing her voice says half the country is mentally deficient.
That's right.
And psycho. But
well,
that's not culturally insensitive.
About Joe Biden voters, but I don't think that's what we're here for, you know?
Well, anyway.
But this is why it's sanitized and there's no story. Because they are terrified of offending while at the same time they offend. They are morons.
Even the signage is creatively bereft. I know you've seen the changes side by side. You might have even shared them. It's terrible. This whole thing.
Well, Chris,
is
have you seen the salt mine signage?
Yes, it's awful.
Do you know who died in salt mines, Chris? Actual slaves.
Yes.
Yep. Remember, salt mines are reserved for seasoned veterans. So, seasoned veterans, you better watch out. You better not get into debt because we know where they will send you.
Is Brer Rabbit now verboten at Disney World? Do they talk about Brer
They
Rabbit?
don't even allow Zippity Doodah to be played anymore.
They don't play the music. Oh my gosh!
They won't allow it.
Rabbit. Now
They took the song out of the entry plaza at Disneyland, the medley that played out there. It's gone.
Folks, we hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a joy making it for you. You are the gigawatts. You are the electricity that drives all of this, and so we thank you. An attitude of gratitude right here on this channel for you. And we're talking, yes, to you individually. Yes, thank you. Folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.